Here's a funny story. Back when I was married and I was thinking about going into the Marines to support my family, okay, which will branch off into another story about the MIPS station. But right now, I was out with Jeff, and I was sitting there, we were firing, his rifles, pistols, and shit. And, I'm just having typical fun with it like I usually do, just fucking aiming wildly. And he's like, dude, how the hell do you expect to get anywhere in the fucking Marines if you're fucking shooting like that? So I took a clip, loaded it, and 15 shots in 15 seconds. I fucking lined up each shot and knocked off just the top of each bottle I aimed at. And he fucking looked at me and said, never do that again in my presence. You fucking scare me. So there's a difference between whenever I want to get down and shoot something, that I want to kill or hit desperately, and whenever I'm just firing weapons for fun because it's fun to hear the sound. It's fun to feel the fucking, recoil and shit. It's fun to just watch the dirt fly and shit and aim wildly. I still aimed away. I was still safe with it, but still, it's just fun to do that. But whenever it came down to business, bap, 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 bap. Jim, never do that again in my presence. Holy fucking shit.
I don't know why that's scary. That probably endear. That I'd probably be like, wow.
Because over the years, that's all I did with him whenever I'd go out shooting was, occasionally I'd get serious and I'd want to hit something and then I'd hit it and then I'd fire wildly. Then I'd want to hit something else, then I'd fire wildly. So it was just used to me being, a suck ass shot. That's what he had in his brain. That's what he envisioned. Jim just likes to fire weapons and, he sucks at it. But that day he realized, yeah, I knew how to take aim. I knew how to fire and just go, boom. Okay, it's dead. So that's what scared him. He didn't realize, yeah, I could be serious with my firearm. I just wasn't because it was more fun not to be. If I had to do it for business, certainly. And these were different distances with open fucking sights too. And he was amazed at some of the long shots I was making. It was just the top of the bottle.
Never do that in my presence.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your other story?
When I was at the MEP station, dear God, this is why was never in the Marines. I got there and they gave me my physical and all this other shit. And the way I moved for my physical, I cracked my back. And I had to flash back from fucking hell while I was being interviewed by their shrink. And the whole time, I don't know what the fuck came out of my mouth. But I remember what was going through my mind is, please, dear God, do not tell him his face is melting. Please, dear God, do not tell him his face is melting. Do not tell him his face is melting. So we're all sitting there and we're talking after the thing, and they come back with the results, and everyone else with me was excited. The guy came up to me and said, you failed the psych part. And he's like, we can trust you not to shoot yourself. We can trust you not to shoot your fellow soldier. But when the order to cease fire comes, we don't think you will. So it was pretty much they just didn't want me to create an international incident.
Jim has somehow fired over 3 countries and is now heading to a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, here's a story that makes me sound like a good guy.
No.
Back whenever I was married and 2 kids, both needed diapers, I went up to Walmart to get a fucking package of diapers. And I walked out the door. And then by the time I reached the car and was about to drive away, I was just still in the parking lot driving. I was like, wait a minute, did I pay for that? And I looked for a receipt, no receipt. So I fucking pulled back in and fucking told them, I walked out the door at this and like, oh my God, you're so noble, blah, 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 blah. 2 weeks later, they didn't run the background check on me and I got a job at Walmart.
Ah, you faggot.
Hey, I was fucking married and was cleaning up my act and blah 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 blah. You know.
I'm not laughing. Actually, yes, I am laughing at you.
Yeah, you should. Kids don't fucking quit.
Cleaning up your act.
Yeah. Never try to be a productive member of society. It'll bite you in the ass. That's why I don't have custody of my kids right now, because I jumped through every single last hoop that they wanted me to get my kids after, like, I'd separated from my ex-wife and I got an apartment on my own. I was trying to get them. The very second my ex-wife came back in the picture, keep in mind this after her alcoholism and fucking some drug use and shit she was doing. And I can't confirm whether she was doing the heroin she claimed. I know she smoked crack that I watched. And I knew she was fucking getting in the pot and shit. So, you know, but pot's nothing. Still, you know, she's there. She's fucking huge fucking alcoholic junkie. Goes to a fucking homeless shelter that duels as the 12 steps according to Jesus cult. The one I went to after this whole thing. And all of a sudden, it went from them gearing up to give me custody of the kids to slime balling me and fucking giving custody of the kids to her, which either A, she was honest with me whenever she said she passed out in the middle of the street from starvation, which at the time I suspected drug use, but going over the fucking and my kids were running up and down the street, you know, or B, it was just as it was written in the fucking court papers where she just relinquished control of the kids, you know. And meanwhile, the court spent all this time fucking slime balling me, and I was going homeless. I had no money for lawyers. I had jack shit. So my only choice was to give up rights to my fucking kids. So don't fucking clean up your act. Fuck playing ball with the fucking system. It all fucking sucks.
Yeah.